So here is MULN Mullen Automotive. This finishes at $3.31 today. That is up 3.12%. Please like the video, please subscribe, and catch me every weekday after the market close on the Smarter Gambling Show. So here is AMC Entertainment. This finishes at $18.26 today. That is up 15.13%. So major price action on the stock today. Looks like we got a 6-day winning streak here. This hit a low of $13 and has had a pretty big bounce since then. So really no news or anything to justify this price action today. It just seems like the overall market is going up, and especially the retail stocks are going up. The retail favorites like AMC, GME, MULN, Tesla, all those stocks are moving today. So this appears to be very retail driven, and because it's just overall the market has been recovering. So let's go ahead and analyze here. And really there's not too much to go off of, to be honest. But yeah, this looks like a cup and handle in the making. Bottom of the cup being $13. And there can be multiple possible tops. It can be $19.55, $23.60, $29.85, $13.95, $34.80, $44.60, $52.40, $65, or even the high of $72.60. Although I do think the most realistic tops would be $19.55 or $23.60. Those are all bullish indicators. That is telling us that the stock should run back up to one of those tops to complete the cup. This does appear to be a bull flag in the making. No confirmation just yet, but we do have a nice flag pull forming here. If we do have some pullback, a flag would form, and that would be a bullish indicator. That would tell us that the stock may want to break out to the upside. What is going on here? What the hell? I'm not really sure what's going on in the aftermarket here. This is running pretty hard at the time of recording. It's up to 19.15 now. So that's another bullish indicator for tomorrow. That is suggesting that the stock will run to the upside tomorrow as well. And no bearish indicators here. So overall, the chart does look bullish in the short and long terms. And if you guys want to follow along, the link to the chart is in the description down below. So right now, this is trading between the sideways channel, the rectangle of 1855 and 1780. So if this goes to the upside, next levels of resistance would be 1855, 1955, 2035, 2115, 2245, 2360, 2435, 2535, 2675, 2785, 2895, 2985, and then 3090. There is resistance above 3090, but we're not going to discuss that right now. And if this goes to the downside, next levels of support would be 1780, 1730, 1650, 1535, 1410, 1295, $12, 1090, and then 985. There is support below 985, but we're not going to discuss that right now. So right now at this current price, 18.26, the channels to the upside and the downside are pretty decently sized, so expect a normal amount of price action either way this goes. However, if the stock keeps going to the upside, the channels open up and get wider, so expect an increase in price action if the stock continues to run to the upside. RSI is currently at 57, a little bit above average there. Nothing to be too concerned about just yet though. So according to the RSI, this current price of 18.26 is around fair market value. Maybe it should be a little bit lower. And this did 78 million in volume today, which is below the average. So this pump today was not confirmed by the volume. Okay guys, just my opinion, not financial advice. I think this one is pretty easy. Again, not too many indicators, but the indicators we do have are all bullish. Cup and handle, bull flag, and aftermarket action here. No bearish indicators, and we have a neutral indicator in the RSI. So overall, this does look pretty bullish in the short and long terms. In the short term, this does have the potential to go back up to 1955, where the top of the cup is, and it's almost there already in the aftermarket, and maybe it can even get to 2360. So therefore, if you want to go long, not financial advice, the current price of 1825 isn't exactly the greatest entry. You missed a massive run the past 6 days, but it's definitely not a bad entry. I would say it's a pretty average play right now. You should be able to make money to the upside. It does look bullish, just not the greatest entry at this point. So you missed a lot of money already, but 1825 still appears to be a pretty decent entry. Not great, but not terrible. So I would support going long at 1825, and if it pulls back, then you can just average down at the supports that I mentioned before. But yeah, there still appears to be a decent amount of upside potential here. Again, I think this definitely can run back up to 1955 or 2360. Now, if you want to go short, not financial advice, I would not do that, and I would not recommend that. Again, no bearish indicators on the chart right now. Looks pretty bullish in the short and long terms. So maybe you'll get the opportunity to short this if this explodes to the upside. But for right now, I don't think going short's a great idea. Don't really see a reason to do that. Looks pretty strong chart-wise. If you were to go short, you're probably going to get burned. So maybe in the future, you'll have a better opportunity. But for right now, I don't think going short's a great idea. Going short would probably be a medium risk, low reward play. Just not really worth it, in my opinion. So really no reason to go short here at the moment. All right, guys, so pretty straightforward here. We got bullish indicators, no bearish indicators. So in the short and long terms, this does appear to be a good buy, and it should run to the upside. Not the greatest entry at this price, but still pretty decent, and really no reason to go short here. So congratulations to everyone who made money in the stock today, and good luck to everyone currently in the stock, and to everyone looking to take a position. This is AMC Entertainment. So here is MULN Mullen Automotive. This finishes at $3.31 today. That is up 3.12%. So once again, we're going to analyze this stock. Been talking about it for 3.5 weeks now. It was still number one on StockTwits. Over 17,000 mentions today. So we got to cover it once again. So I wasn't going to talk about this initially, because this actually was deep in the red most of the day today. But throughout the day, it just kept popping up, and really towards power hour, this had a major move to the upside. Crazy price action. So no company specific news to justify this price action today. It just seems like the overall market doing really well, especially these retail stocks. AMC, GME, the retail favorites doing really well today. And it appears like the squeeze is not over just yet. Although it does appear like it is cooling off. Not nearly as much price action as the previous days. And volume is going down here, so I think the squeeze is coming to an end. Hopefully not, though. But let's go ahead and analyze it. So let's first start off with the bullish indicators. So first of all, we do have a gap down at 1190. So that is a bullish indicator. That is telling us that the stock should eventually come back up to 1190 to fill that gap. It may take a while, but eventually it should. And then we have another gap down at 465. So another bullish indicator there. That is telling us that the stock should eventually come back up to 465 to fill this gap. That seems unlikely. That's going to fill in the short term, but possible because this did hit about 420 yesterday. So this may fail in the short term, but even if it doesn't, this should come back up to 465 to fill this gap. And this does appear to be a bull flag forming right here. No confirmation just yet, but it appears like we have a flag pull over here, and a flag is developing right now due to this pullback. So that's another bullish indicator. If this is in fact a bull flag, that is telling us that the stock may want to break out to the upside soon. And then we do have this huge cup and handle in the making. Bottom of the cup being 52 cents, the low. And there can be multiple possible tops. It can be 380. And if it is 380, that would be a bearish indicator, because that would mean the cup already topped out and it should pull back from there. But it can also be above 380. And if it is above 380, that would be a bullish indicator. It can also be 585, 640, 740, 815, $9, 980, 1050, 1165, or even the high of 1590. So the cup and handle can be a bullish or bearish indicator depending on where the top is. But longer term, that does appear to be a bullish indicator, and shorter term, that does appear to be a bearish indicator. I do think the most realistic tops would be 380 or 585. And now let's get to the bearish stuff. So this is a triple gap up. First gap up at 60 cents. So bearish indicator there. That is telling us that the stock may come back down to 60 cents to fill that gap. Looks pretty unlikely at this point, but possible. So keep that in mind, guys. And then we have the second gap up at 150. Another bearish indicator. That is telling us that the stock may come back down to 150 to fill this gap. And then the third gap up is at 180. So another bearish indicator there. That is telling us that the stock may come back down to 180 to fill this gap. So I do think 60 cents looks a bit unrealistic at this point, but I do think 150 and 180 are very possible. And if you guys want to follow along, the link to the chart is in the description down below. So right now this is trading between the sideways channel, the rectangle of 340 and 320. So if this goes to the upside, next levels of resistance would be 340, 360, 380, $4, 410, 425, 440, 460, 495, 525, 550, 570, 585, 610, 640, 660, 675, 690, and then 715. There is resistance above 715, but we're not going to discuss that right now. And if this goes to the downside, next levels of support would be 320, 290, 270, 255, 225, 190, 170, 135, 115, $1, 75 cents, 60 cents, and then the low of 52 cents. 52 is the all-time low, so no support below that. So right now at this current price, 331, the channels to the upside and the downside are normal sized, so expect a normal amount of price action either way this goes. However, to the upside, if slash when this breaks 460, the channels start to open up and get really wide, so expect a significant increase in price action if slash when this breaks 460. And to the downside, if slash when this breaks 320, the channels start to open up and get pretty wide, so expect a significant increase in price action if slash when this breaks 320. RSI is currently at 70, so this is officially in overbought and overvalued territory, so be careful, guys. And this did 258 million in volume today. Very significant volume, way above the average. So this pump today was confirmed by the volume, although that is a major pullback of volume from the past 3 days. So it does appear like the momentum is cooling off and the squeeze is possibly coming to an end. So just my opinion, guys, not financial advice. And this is going to be more or less the same from what I've been saying the past few shows. So longer term, this does appear to be a good buy and hold. We got some pretty strong bullish indicators. Double gap down, cup and handle, possible bull flag. So a lot of upside potential in the long term. But in the short term, we are getting some pretty strong bearish indicators now. Again, we have the triple gap up, high RSI, and cup and handle. Those are some pretty strong bearish indicators there. This has been squeezing for the past 3 weeks. This is going to have to come back down at some point. It's a matter of when, not if. So, like I said, it looks like the momentum is cooling off, and I do think this is due for a pullback in the short term. So therefore, if you want to go long, not financial advice, while there is still more upside potential, I really don't think it's going to run too much higher to the upside. I do think this topped out at around $4. But I will say, if this does keep running to the upside, I do think the absolute top would be around 570-ish, because that would be the next top of the cup after 380. So I think it's unlikely it gets back up there, but possible. So I don't like the entry of 331. I think at this point, you missed your chance. It's been running very hard for the past 3 weeks, and I think going long here at 331 would be straight up FOMO. You'd be buying in the relative top and probably going to get burned. I would say going long here would be a high risk, high reward play. Too risky for my liking. I don't really recommend it. So if you do want to go long here at this price, please do that at your own risk. And if you want a really good price, if you want a really good entry, I would say hold off until at least 180, because that's where the gap up is. I think there's a very good chance it pulls back down there, and it may even pull back down to 150 and 60 cents, although I think 60 cents is unlikely. But yeah, I think this is due for a major pullback. And if you're a little patient here, you should be able to get a much better price than the current one of 331. So I don't like the entry of 331. I would hold off and set the buy orders to 180 and lower. And if it pulls back below 180, then you can just average down at the supports that I mentioned before. Now, if you want to go short, not financial advice, it seems like a pretty good play to me. Again, a lot of bearish indicators here. Looks like it's going to pull back in the short term. Again, triple gap up, cup and handle, high RSI, momentum cooling off. So everything points to this pulling back in the short term, and it may even pull back pretty significantly. While there is still more upside potential, I don't think you can really go too wrong shorting here at 330. So like I said, I do think this will pull back down to 180 at least, and from this current price, 330, that would be about a 45% downside. So a lot of downside potential, a lot of money to be made here on the downside, and I do believe that's the minimum it's going to pull back. I think there's a good chance it pulls back down to 150 as well, and from this current price, that would be a 55% downside. So I can't exactly say how far this is going to go down, but there is a lot of downside potential here and a lot of money to be made. So I would say going short here would be a medium risk, high reward play. I say medium risk because, again, there is still more upside potential. But I think for the most part, the squeeze is coming to an end. Really shouldn't be too risky and a lot of downside potential. Going short looks like a pretty good play here to me. I would support going short at 330 and higher. And I would say please cover at 180 or 150 where the gaps are. And that should be a relatively easy 45 to 55% gain on the downside here. So pretty straightforward here, guys. This stock has been on a massive run the past 3 weeks. Long term, looks like a good buy and hold. But in the short term, this probably has to pull back. Momentum is cooling off. A lot of bearish indicators. I think the squeeze is over. So I don't think going long is a great idea here. I would hold off if you want to go long. Be a little patient, and you should be able to get a much better price. And if you want to go short, this current price of 330 does appear to be a pretty good entry on the short side. So long-term bullish, short-term bearish. So congratulations to everyone who made money in the stock today. Consider taking profits if you're up, not financial advice. And good luck to everyone currently in the stock and to everyone looking to take a position. This is MULN Mullen Automotive. Thanks everyone for watching today. I appreciate you guys. Please like the video. Please subscribe and catch me every weekday after the market close on the Smarter Gambling Show. You apes already know. Diamond hands to the moon. I'm Ty. This is Smarter Gambling. See you guys tomorrow. Peace out.